Welcome back. Welcome back. Montage of those, oh dear lord. So, I kind of abruptly stopped what I was doing. Talking about the Uinta Mountains, and specifically, pretty much their position here, which got me thinking it's really not convenient to translate this. So I just basically I haven't adjusted colors, so it's on top of that it's just a lot of information. I just literally put a bunch of points on the map. I was like, this is a point of interest here, 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 here in this structure, to here, and then to here, which I put there. And then just generally boundaries. So boundary here, another stretch here to kind of just put a wall with a pointing out point thing here. And just basically made a map with the locations, but then I did it over here. It's a mess, but let me add a layer. Okay. If I maybe take all these. Oh no. I don't know how to. It's okay. I'll just draw. Oh, that's a little inconvenient unless I group them. I didn't really want to group them. I guess I'll just group them. Whatever. What do I do? Combine something. Link. Create group. Okay. And then I can more easily take the lines off. Okay, let's start here. And then let's zoom in. Maybe I'll do it here. I don't know what I'm doing. I just started like recording and I just smoked. It occurred to me that this is going on. So I want to capture enough. Just do new. Okay. And then basically I'm just gonna draw this here here, over here. Maybe over here. Over here. And then here. And then maybe like this. And here. Maybe here too, and maybe actually here too. Or I'm not sure. Kind of here. Maybe this too. Did that a little too random. Let's kind of look in closer. This is interesting because honestly, like here, maybe like that. Something. I kind of just drew that. I just saw that part of it, and then maybe there. Something sort of Ammonite-like. And then over here, maybe. Reminiscent of maybe this. From Yorkshire Fossils on YouTube. Maybe here, like this goes like maybe. It's kind of just by this generally gives me the impression then that this kind of goes. Maybe. And then out further though. I don't know. Generally like that though, out like this. That's just kind of generically do it. And then maybe there. I know I'm just kind of with like a maybe even a. I don't know. But interestingly, here at like the valve is this and this. another valve. Valve. And then also this, which maybe... it's generally like... So, like, let's just say some sort of Ammonite structures going on here that maybe even has these circle, oval type punches like here. Maybe there. Let's see. What I'm looking at, what I'm thinking of, if let's see if I can find a picture. Probably not in these. Definitely in shallograms. They're so cool. So some of them have literal circle punches, not like this, but just subtle ones. It's kind of like that, just repeatedly, like off of one another, like one coming off like that, that kind of would overlap but be larger. But maybe when they're the same size or something of the like, they spiral, and so like this actually what in the why ugh. What the dudes? I'm just like, is this where all this... That really looks a lot like... Here, when it reminds me when if I can find it. For instance, here, but I did like these just throughout it. Maybe this one, kind of like these chamber shapes over and over. I think they were just this way that I kind of saw them. Maybe I should go back to that and move my head. So there's the Ammonite of underneath Australia. I'm just like, could it possibly? I keep having this inclination that they were like all these things were together, because it seems like they're all representing the same like crescendo location of things going on that then separated. Like, is it possible the surface of North America had this undercrust below it as the surface was forming, and then it got moved away and then lodged under wherever, and that was here, like this. I don't know. And then it like took the shape of Australia from this above crust. Or it's just doing the same thing in different locations. That just seems more likely. Although, yeah. I mean, we kind of see it here. Here's Bighorn Mountain, though. We're looking at here's the wolf or whatever. This canine animal that's kind of shaped in there. We're looking here is the center. So maybe it spirals in like to here and then out between this way, out beyond it. Although that doesn't actually work. It's like opposite. It does seem to be spiraling this way. Or it's like doing a yin-yang thing and it's spiraling in and spiraling in. But I don't know what this would be. Unless it's just kind of coming off of over here in general. And spiraling in. Let's see. This is why I wanted to like be able to quickly go. Like I know this is, now I know that is here, but like everything else, it's kind of hard to go back and forth. So I basically tried my best. And maybe in hindsight, I should have focused on a smaller area at a time to do this rather than a single one. Maybe I'll do both at this point, realizing this is not really sufficient. Like, focus right here and do the same. But the reason I wanted to do broad is to keep the broad picture in view while we're looking. So we can at least see Bighorn. We can see Bighorn Mountain. I did that, like that. I made sure Bighorn Mountain was in there. Oh, I guess I went way higher. I went to the Vancouver region here, and then over far enough. Okay, so let's see. 89.8 or 39.8, 111.2. 39.8, 111.2. Boom. So that's right there. Is the beginning of this year. Is this one. I guess I can go back now. Just to get a bearing. There's that, and then 38.6, 111.4. Here. So those two are a little odd, although on it. What I basically did was, well, like I said, I picked like end nodes along certain points along the way. And what I found interesting when I was extrapolating over is they did tend to rest along the pink. Like they could be more so, like this one's a little out there. I know when something's a little out there. This thing, that's a little out there. But like this was it was anomalously like in a crevice here. The points that I was looking for, I wasn't like choosing this point and then putting it over there. I was choosing on the surface map and then putting it on this map to see what happened. And so what I'm getting at is like maybe like a current comes through and some balance point of width produces like hinges that kind of hold a line that produced an arc across here. Like this kind of a current generally came across here and held a wall here and another wall here. This length, with which then physically is this length. I don't know. Just a thought, but let's keep going. Like these two make sense in in a similar way. This one starts at like a resistance node and a resistance node, and then kind of forms like an actual string, maybe string theory kind of nature between the two nodes, which maybe are actual things that are happening. I don't know. I didn't like anticipate that, but if that's what's happening when I'm just randomly, well, not randomly, choosing points of relevance like this. So like we can go up here, let's say, let's see what's going on. 39.9 or 39, 43.9, 106.9, 43.9, 106.9. So here. So it's at this ring's boundary. This one's a little weird because it's in the middle of some choppy data, so it's hard to say. It's like at the edge of the pink, but the choppy data makes it a little eh. But this one was literally like in the heart of it, where the oops, where this location is, and then over here at this boundary, 45.2, 108 is that one. So it's interestingly, it has a band across it, but only at the width of this first inner ring, and then the band just kind of stops. This band. And then it continues through like a little mini thing like that. Then there's this one, which I only put that position on because I was doing so many of them. So I guess that's not the best one. Let's just check it out. Where is it at? 44.4. Right at this boundary. Which makes sense because it's essentially a boundary. What a boundary does is it provides a place for the currents to flow into and then to create turbulence that then perhaps even either like just bows out the region maybe and produces like a tube, like literally a tube like this through here. Like a big old tube that in the outside is like solid and dense and more rigid shell, and the interior a current flows through, and in some instances it leaves like a place for current to flow instead of really filling in with mounds like this, so it remains a place for current to flow. And so it does, at least to a degree. Not like it was when this was all forming, being shaped. So then, let's see. 43.1. That one is down this way, which continues, so I mean, it kind of makes sense that it's trailing off. I'm not sure. Kind of like me. That one's more subtle, so maybe I shouldn't pay too much mind to that one being not quite at the boundary, and maybe it even is why it's not at the boundary. This one's more at a boundary. 41.2. This one, like, at a boundary there. Let's go down a bit more. I guess we can go up here real quick. There's this one and this one in these little corners. Right at this boundary here, basically, is that one. I found that pretty interesting. That in this stretch is this. From right there is this tube section where current could flow that literally is like an umbilical cord, I guess, having even like little curled rib things or whatever. I don't know if that's actually an umbilical cord. Picturing like a hose that can like shrink in on itself. Dude, would you stop with the don't even we all know. Okay. 48.4113 though. That one actually passed into here. Which Makes me think of like again like a yin yang where one of them is like high and the other is more like roots down over here, but it kind of has a pivot point from the far side over on this side, and then it has like a deeper root into this region. I don't know, maybe. This one's a little further up, but if we look at the map a little more, it looks more like it's close to this general boundary, like this boundary maybe, the center of whatever this balance point is. I don't know. That looks kind of like a beam with a bunch of like flames repeatedly. That then over here widens and maybe even compresses. And like blows into here. So that boundary for like the mountainous portion across here kind of makes sense. I'm not sure. Here's another one, another Ammonite kind of centered here with the then, or maybe here, that spirals out and looks like it kind of is this shape, like on its side. It's maybe here going in like this, I guess. With an outer boundary here. Did I? Whatever. Then with a side one over here, like at the boundary, right pretty much down the middle of this thing, right down the middle, which is very much like this. Pardon me, Graham. So yeah, I got a lot of points made. Over here. Here's like big ol' western United States. Here's the Idaho maybe? I don't know where that actually is. The region I was just pointing at. This smiley face. I guess it's kind of Oregon, Idaho, and Washington. A little bit of all of them. Mostly Oregon. It looks like mostly Oregon. It just kind of sneaks into the other ones. Bleeds into. So there's an Ammonite type thing going on here. An Ammonite type thing going on here. An Ammonite type thing going on. It's centered here. That spirals out from here, basically. Another one that's really like here. These centered here. Huge one here in the ocean. Huge one in the ocean. Adjacent one in the ocean, like the offshoot one on the side, going the opposite direction. Of water-based atop the surface, I believe, while over here is more of like a lava and water, maybe. I feel like there's more just like water Probably because of the ocean that was there. Because the Earth was expanding, and the ancient ocean on the pre-expanding Earth was at least here, and all the way out. But where the pre-expanding Earth had no oceanic crust, because it was all connected. Sort of like these Ammonites must be. There's this one, there's this one. There's almost like a big one and a little one. And a big one and a little one. And honestly, let's see. The dragon of North America. Let's see. Is composed of one eye, two eyes. So the eye of the dragon is one of these Ammonite shapes. The cheek is another here. I guess there actually is right here, like spiraling out this way though. That's got like a center, maybe around here. They're not always like fully formed. They're just like tendencies that repeat themselves. Like Hawaii. You can see it here. Out to there. That really goes different scales out here. With one here. And then they go up this way. They're a little more subtle. Whatever's going on, it goes up this way. So they're probably in there. They're just not as distinct as these ones down here. And they occur on scales like this. I forget the minor. Even. Sorry, dude. Diamond minor something. Maybe I can find it real quick. Ivers. It's from his channel. There is that kind of balance, this line that seems to cut across here. To here. Just pretty much straight across from the water to the mountains with a balance point. With another little face in it. Here's a nose. Eyeball, eyeball. And then the swastika or window, whatever. Looks like a window, really. But kind of like a swastika with extra parts. I know the symbol has been hijacked, but whoa. Huh. It's like a current cutting across like the shallograms. I probably went by several already right there. What I'm trying to find. Not really quite like that. Just the ones with like the nicks of a like smooth circle cut out. Maybe like that. Not the best angle. There's one. It's this little like dude. There we go. That's one of the better ones. Real smooth. Ammonite shape. Not that they're to scale relative to one another in this instance, but just like, is there something centered here that maybe spirals out? I don't think so. Maybe in a subtle way. This might even be like a general spiral center. So let's get over here. Did I do that? Yeah. That was this one to this one, or to this one. And then the next dot down this point was here. Yeah. $36.4. 112. Yeah, this one. This one doesn't really have the shape underneath it, but it does have this point. Which maybe is like a ramp point. I don't know. Did it form? Maybe this formed like from here. It even has that kind of dendrite out. I don't know. Oh, whoa, we're looking at Grand Canyon region too. To cut through this. It's like, is there... Like, if this is in some way related to the underbelly of Australia... Like, what if it flipped? That'd be crazy. No, it didn't flip. It wouldn't make any sense. Like, of course it didn't flip, you fucking... What is this dude talking about? What was I looking for? The Grand Canyon for here then. I was interested in, because essentially that region makes me think of this angel thing here going on. Also is repeated over here. They're kind of out that way and over that way maybe. The legs down here, so this goes down to here, and then this goes over to here. Which unfortunately I didn't actually draw well. I didn't put enough space on this one. It's not the most. 32, yeah, that one. I guess this one is over here. This one's at a pretty reasonable spot. And then that one is at that spot. Along this. I think that's where I was looking, right? Or no. There. Along here. I guess so. Like here, somewhere to here. But the Grand Canyon. You can definitely see an Ammonite in here. They're starting from around here. That spirals out like... I can never... Like that way. Somehow going up to there and over there, kind of. I just see it everywhere. It's everywhere now. People are like, that's just the thing with that name that I can't remember, which will make them think it's even more likely because I can't name the thing, even though I'm aware of the thing. Will you recognize the things in the things, even though the things aren't in the things? Or so people say. You know, maybe it's just people say they're not in the things and they don't even know that they're not in the things because they are in the things because that's the actual reality. I don't know. Okay. So across here though, there was where... was here. It's kind of here to there. To up there is that location. So this is kind of filled with stuff anyway. I just chose the location here. I think that was a relevant location for some reason. It maybe just it literally looked dark or something. I'm just picturing not just a tube, but like a snake type shape that literally comes down here and then opens over here and then like has a gap and then has a like jaw down here that's all kind of relatively conjoined and has some kind of region between that's supported by it all, and maybe has its own support thing, but this is actually Yellowstone magma probably is what's really supported in the held in the hand of this, or in the mouth of this snake. Couldn't grow anymore, or else it would have held it down here or something. Okay. So where's Grand Canyon? Here. Through this region. $37. Basically, it starts, I guess. Oh, that's great. It starts with an earthquake. Oh. This whole ammonite had water that drained out this way. So it's probably flowing in. Let's check out. How do I do topography on this? I guess I'll just do that. Terrain. I can't turn off labels for some reason. I see. I don't know what to make of it though. It almost looks like here maybe. An ammonite shape going in there. I don't know. That like bird thing is pretty distinct. Let's see, is there anything distinct? That's pretty distinct. Let's take a look. Oh, Axica. Why do I know that? No. I feel like there's some, or maybe. Huh. What? May represent areas conquered. That looks a lot like what's on that Halleck's gravestone or whatever. Gravestone. Anyway, that's still nothing out of China in that region. I was wondering. I wouldn't say I was predicting per se, although maybe I said I was predicting. But it was really more of a test. Certainly it wasn't. This happened over here. I was thinking more like here. I was basically saying that it would precisely make, like, as a test, because it went here through, like, to here and here, and then over here, right here, that it was, I was thinking it was generally going across here, but it was going to get funneled here into a channeled region here where maybe there would be even just a earthquake, not necessarily a substantial one, but literally right here. That's what I was thinking would be a good test. It didn't happen though. Instead, it happened like over here. So it almost seems like maybe it like water falls down. I don't know what to make of that. I don't know what to make of that. I was thinking all sorts of weird things. Like, alright, how do I think about flat Earth? Put this into some flat Earth making sense to me model. I feel like somewhere deep down under the layers I can make sense of why that's also like a really truly the case, so that I can be like, okay, it's the case because blah 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 blah, and explain it from a globe angle, but like from also like simultaneously equal opposite kind of angle. Maybe not equal, opposite. I don't know. Well, I guess equal, but like if the Earth is not like on some scale is flat, on some dimension is flat, and is on that dimension of like angle of perception is seen to be not a globe, which I have generally accepted my entire life. The globe, not the flat Earth. People hear me say the words flat Earth, they just assume, oh, blah, blah. I just consider like, well, maybe like there is this aspect where it is a shallogram. Like, I mean, the shallogram I'm gonna show, admittedly, is more rounded, so even there, and they tend to be more rounded, so it almost is actually probably evidence. That's the thing, is I kind of feel like it's more of a shape, like it's essentially like this, but not like this, but like this. Oh, a sphere, but then not with this segment and the shallogram feature. Although maybe it's water falling into and like on a our scale, it just looks normal, but and like nothing is awry, but that there's some like epic proportion thing of this nature going on. I don't know. That would be cool. For why there just seems to be like a waterfall here. It doesn't really make sense in the currents. It makes sense in there's a new connection of islands. Like these were not there. This wasn't there. I'm pretty sure like essentially all of this was up here ish somewhere. Somewhere up here. Like maybe, I don't know exactly. Where is more like a flat line here, and then this beam, kind of like the beam that was going over here. Through this one, and then just like through here, especially noticeable at the boundary. In through this way. Also is going on over here, and maybe again that's why it's maybe it is the same. Like this, maybe this beam is that beam. And then they just moved apart. I'm just trying to envisage how it could be so. I don't know. But it moves it this way. Through here. Pushing like right through here. Creating an arc that bends back at its end. And at its end. Into reaching it energetically into here. Which maybe would bond it, and then there's even this like distinct thing going on to, I don't know, create like that corner to that. So like this width is a connection energetically below the crust for this landmass to be conjoined, like truly bonded. But one of the side effects of that is the river flows down here through here, generally across this way to here. Maybe like low pressure draws it that way because the process was slowing down when this was forming, so it just didn't have as much pressure pushing into it, so the currents just get kind of pushed that way. Maybe, I don't know. Something to do with like a balance between this current coming this way and then current going maybe up this way, like there. I don't know. Looks kind of like a bird. Eye, beak. That's stretching it, dude. Yeah, I know. Well, I'm looking. Right? Some of them aren't as good as others. You know, that's just how it is. It's not like they aren't relevant because they're actually relevant. When they're like showing current flows that repeat over and over, like ammonite structures like this, like that's relevant. Like that, there's an ammonite structure underneath Australia is pretty relevant, I'd say. And just repeatedly, like the ones that we were talking about earlier over here. So if there's a current, let's just say hypothetically, there's a current going down this way, and then it runs into here, and then it's also going down this way. That doesn't make any sense. Wait, maybe? This way? Mind you, Australia is for sure like this. Over here. Here's Papua New Guinea. So Australia is just basically here, where it is connected. Or not this one. This one's unclear exactly. This is a region I'm not so sure on here. So I guess this is pretty good. Here's this one, which actually I think more so goes down into the Philippines with these extensions like physically wrapping around two sides. And then just things got really rearranged here in the expansion process so that it actually fit. And this wasn't even the boundary that I should be trying to fit it to. Is part of the issue. Like we can even tell by this. Like for sure this whole portion formed together, and this portion wasn't just like hanging out there below. So like there's definitely something going on here where this was probably more just straight up here, up lodged in there, and then Australia was connected to it, and then Western Australia, where, here we go. And then they were connected like this. Papua New Guinea. I think that's still Papua New Guinea, I'm not sure. North Maluku Island, Sulawesi. North Maluku in this way. Sulawesi, I think, just folded, it was pretty much up in this region and folded out this here. And then the Philippines were here. So we just have North Maluku, Philippines. I forgot this. Borde or something. I forgot its name. Pardon me. Borneo? Something. Borneo, maybe? Which were all, again, like this. Generally speaking, along this coastline. So there was a current going this way. And then a current going this way. So maybe they just separated. Kind of like here, they did this, but the entire Pacific. Where they physically, one went this way. And partly went around here, maybe, I don't know. And like, connected through here, let's see. I should probably go to bed. It's 2 o'clock. Oh, like, what am I doing? I'm just, like, I should film. I should record. I should look at this some more. It was interesting enough, and I know no one's really listening. And I'm dying slowly, and I have other things to do. But in hindsight, it hopefully will be worth it for the world of the future. Although then again, I could cause them to be like, well, I guess we're going to kick the internet off for eternity. And also other things that could happen as a result of me sharing this. So I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But back to what I was saying. This maybe goes this way and maybe through here then. And back around to here. To here. where it then connects this way, but like as another endpoint going back to a start point, and where this is like a start point up here, it's relatively, like say here, goes this way. Maybe if we follow, I don't know, this one going this way down through here. Through here. Maybe it goes up and goes along here then. And feeds in through here. Which then basically joins here, goes down through the East African Rift. But also maybe feeds out this way, like wraps back around this way. Comes back this way and reconnects like two different shades even. Like a positive and negative terminal, reconnecting the two currents that separated from up here. That would imply there was some kind of vibration like across this. This current actually, it's separating. It's back here. It goes this way. But then even before then it goes maybe up this way. Like over here and up this way. I don't know. So that then it's got one going this way around North America. One going this way. And then this one ends up going across and feeding into this boundary, while this one ends up going across this way. It doesn't matter where they're sourced exactly. There's generally it does make sense. We see this one, so it's probably this like sawtooth cutting process thing that ends up doing things of this nature basically at the boundary, but in this case it was just breaking a chunk off, and like the actual adjacent chunk over here was broken off too, but that's separated away, and then this kind of separated too. Let's check out this, and then I'm just gonna stop. Yeah, hour 20, it's 2 o'clock. I need to go to bed. Let's just check out some of these. I feel like it comes across and starts to turn Australia so that Papua New Guinea like connects over there, and then it has two currents going around it maybe, and that would imply from a single current. It's pinched by 4 currents, really. I don't know. So many things to consider when trying to put together like a cohesive model. If we're just gonna like patch on top of some like starting point that was pretty much random without doing this, then it doesn't really have the same potential. Plate tectonics. Not true. So if we just keep patching on top of it, somewhere down the line, there's too many assumptions that were false, and I guess I'm just a fool for not realizing my own assumptions that I'm going to realize sooner or later, because I was born and thus I must die. What a good way to go out. That doesn't even make sense. Unless you already know what I'm talking about. What in the hell? This dude is out of his mind. Also has like a vibrating. Alright. Peace out till next time. Thanks. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening. Thanks for spending so much time listening to me just kind of make my way through the jungle, if you will. I don't know. Welcome to the jungle. No, can't do that for this one. Maybe for another one. I need a jungle involved. Well, this one will be a fun name too, hopefully. I like fun names. Alright, peace.